to the National Bank of Cambodia, Association of Banks in Cambodia, and the Cambodian Association of Finance and Technology, and also a special call out to Prudential Group in Cambodia. Thank you for arranging for me to speak today. It's an honor for me to share with you this journey from a conventional bank to a digital bank. I am Kevin Lam, the head of Tomorrow Digital Group, and Tomorrow is the name of our digital bank at UOB. A brief introduction about UOB. We are the third largest bank in Singapore, and we have more than 235 billion in total assets and offices across 19 countries, right? And almost 159 of our 25,000 of our employees. But our focus is in our head office is in Singapore, and we are also a significant bank in Malaysia. Myself, I was just the CEO of UOB Indonesia for the last 4 years before coming back to Singapore recently to head up this new position. So I worked for several international banks before joining UOB 15 years ago, most notably with Citibank for more than 10 years, and was based in the US and also in Hong Kong, and subsequently in UOB I've been in Malaysia, in Indonesia, and also work a lot in the ASEAN countries. Let me share with you today a little bit about UOB's journey from a conventional bank, retail business, to a digital bank. UOB built two value propositions to deliver innovation and learnings of digital banking. So we have what we call both a challenger bank and a defender bank strategy. In the challenger bank, which is our Tomorrow Digital Bank, we have launched it in Thailand and in Indonesia in the last 2 years. This is a pioneering innovation lab of digital transformation where we are focused on digitally inclined millennials with payments, CASA, unsecured lending, with unique engagement differentiators such as gamification and the use of engagement lab, where we're data scientists to look at the big data and work with customers who prefers a mobile-only banking solution. Whatever that we learn as a challenger bank in these markets like Thailand, Indonesia, we bring it back to our core markets of Singapore and Malaysia in our omni-channel strategy, where we bring the innovation best practices, for example, like Insight Cards. Now, this Insight Cards is an AI-driven insight based on the data and transactions that we can serve our customers, individual, family, and business, using universal banking concepts, advisory and planning, and for customers who use multiple channels. Now, to share with you, when we track digital banking across the globe, there are now more than 200 digital banks around the world, at least those that we are tracking. And in Singapore, there's just been 4 additional banking licenses given out just 1 week ago. And these digital banks, where we identified they have successfully found a way to be profitable, are usually with 4 main success factors. Number 1, they have operating in a large market and are able to address some inefficiency in this large market. Second, they tend to be profitable challengers focusing on lending and often with alternative data. And third, they have an ecosystem that gives them an unparalleled advantage in acquisition and usage. And finally, the lean model, which means their cost to serve is very low. They are able to deliver the same level of service, and if not better, with a very low cost model. So these are the 4 success factors that we have found after researching digital banks globally, but trust still remains a key differentiator. So we look at all the category of these 200 banks into 4 major categories. First are what we call the neobanks, banks that have no branches, but purely operate as a digital bank. The second category are urban subsidiaries like ourselves, Tomorrow by UOB Group. And then there are the big tech-led banks like WeBank in China and Kakao in Korea. And finally, the hybrid JVs, like for example, Mox in Hong Kong, which is a joint venture between Standard Chartered and several notable partners, including PCCW, which is a telco. Now, in all of these major categories, trust remains a key differentiator. So there's one thing that I'd like to emphasize today for all the colleagues in Cambodia, whether you are a traditional bank or you are a digital bank, banking still remains about trust. COVID-19, let me speak a bit about that, has consumer banking permanently. Now, we have seen, especially in Southeast Asia, this is a data that we got from Google, Bain, and Temasek, which they published recently, that in 2020, this year, the COVID year, 40 million new internet users are in Southeast Asia. And 70% of Southeast Asia population are already online. And that is a huge population of 600 million people in Southeast Asia. 94% of new customers continue using digital, and accelerated digital transformation is needed to meet these needs. What is tomorrow's vision? The UOB tomorrow's, our vision is the world's most engaging bank for millennials. Where do we want to play? That is our selected ASEAN markets of 10 billion market opportunity to capture these millennials across ASEAN. How do we want to play? To build a tomorrow digital bank targeting the younger generation. And our ambition is to acquire 3 to 5 million customers over the next 5 years. How do we want to win? As we mentioned, we aspire to be simple, engaging, and transparent bank for millennials. And our objective is to be the main account and grow along together with our customers, focusing on engagement, growing transactions, and importantly, increasing answers. Now, this is a business model that we developed at UOB. We call it the ATG model, or acquire, transact, generate data, insights, and finally engage with the customers. And we do this in a way which is say we have a pan-ASEAN engagement lab with people who are able to manipulate big data and offer banking service down to a hyper-personalized level. This customer-centric design looks at the pain points of our customers, such as fees and underserved or poor service feedback from the customers. And we look at what are the insights. For example, in Thai operating, one of the feedback that came to us about removing the 50 Thai baht note. This was a very big example for us. When we're able to solve this problem, we gain a lot of goodwill from our customers. And the segment that we focus on are the young professionals and young professional families and people who are digital first or even digital only. And the expectations when we do our research is that a lot of them expect it to be transparent with zero friction and best in class. We are able now in Indonesia, for example, open a bank account using eKYC in less than 7 minutes in Indonesia, all across the 270 million population in Indonesia, and help us with improving their financial management, including if they overspend, we're able to give them financial budgeting and always available. These are some of the innovations that we can share with you. The first in global implementation of using Icelandic Maniga with an Israeli AI engine called Personetics. This was first around the world, but now it's come to Asia. We were also the first Thai bank to open accounts with non-face-to-face biometric, and the first bank to develop first full-fledged savings gamification to make banking fun and easy. And we also, as I mentioned, to set up a pan-regional engagement lab with data scientists to look at data of our customers and engage our customers. So instead of selling, we engage our customers. And definitely new agile ways of working. These are just some of the insight cards I shared with you just now, where we have already also shared with our core markets in Singapore and Malaysia, where there are trigger-based alerts, personalization, and artificial intelligence driven. These are just some of the examples that you can see here. So we launched in March last year, 2019, and in a matter of less than 1 year and 9 months, we have rapid market expansion in 2 markets, in Thailand and in Indonesia, where these 2 markets now, 80% of our new to bank customers in Thailand are acquired through the Tomorrow Digital Bank, and 54% are acquired in the Tomorrow Digital Bank in Indonesia. We're driving growth in our CASA balance and also through one common regional platform. KPIs on our Net Promoter Score is what we are particularly proud of. And you can see here, 45 NPS score for Thailand and 60 NPS score for Indonesia, which is a very high level. And I mentioned here, highly active customer base, where we measure not just one transaction or two transactions or three, but we measure 4 transactions to qualify as a highly active customers. And of that, we have more than 30% of our Indonesia customer base measured highly active in the recent month of October, and onboarding in less than 7 minutes. There have been many awards we have won, but let me share with you, right now our focus is to grow in terms of scale and commercialization, working with a one bank approach to leverage the corporate banking customers, the wholesale banking customers, and to share our best practices with our core markets so that we can have the path to profitability and lower the cost of acquisition. And finally, enhance our CDP, right? Using alternative data to drive our credit scoring engine and key differentiators like gamification, financial well-being, and even sustainability. A final note, I'll keep my presentation very short, is I also want to talk about digital insurance. UOB and Prudential, we have entered into a preferred partnership, and Prudential is truly a great partner. We have partnership commitment in Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Singapore, and we are working together closely to collaborate and produce a win-win outcome, and not just between the two companies, but for our customers as well, so that we can enhance the customer engagement and CVP. Leveraging on data, connectivity, and the Prudential UOB partnership was able to raise awareness and build loyalty. So maybe as a closing statement, I'd just like to add that in the road from conventional banking to digital banking, I have operated in Malaysia, in Indonesia, and now back in Singapore, and also work closely with Bank of Thailand because of our launch in Thailand. There's a lot of bumpy roads, so if you do face some obstacles and challenges, don't be disappointed. It is not an easy journey, but I assure you it is a rewarding one. And our experience in Indonesia, for example, working with OJK, the Financial Service Authority that supervises all, they set up a separate division called OJK Infinity, right, to especially assist new FinTechs and banks that are doing digital bank setups to help with the supervision and the setup. And also sandboxes. In Thailand, for example, there's a lot of setup of sandboxes for digital banks, and we are now working our way out of the sandboxes, right? And also, one of the comments I would like to make also is about cybersecurity. In Thailand, for example, we are very grateful to the Bank of Thailand for supporting our drive to upgrade our customers' operating systems to a higher version of the Google operating system, because we want our software that runs the digital bank to be safe and secure. But this is a constant challenge because customers don't change phones every year, but the operating systems actually do change quite frequently. So in a market like in Indonesia, it has been a challenge. But in Thailand, the regulator is very proactive in setting the consumer education that the operating system of your mobile phone needs to be upgraded constantly to protect the security of data in the mobile banking. So maybe this just a few slides, 10, 11 slides to share some of our journey and our experiences, and I will just stop here. Thank you very much.